Hi there, welcome to episode 3 of my Arc Elementalist in Ruthless. We're finally at the point where we can play the Witch again, and I can actually go about getting Arc and seeing if I can get the build online. So, to recap, we've created a Templar to Mule to get a few gems, we've created a Shadow to get Lightning Trap, and now we've got all of those skills. Including, Holy Flame Totem and Firewall, just to make the initial leveling a bit quicker for the Witch. So now I'm going to equip the Witch, play the Witch and equip all of that stuff, and then take her through. And at level 12, I'll be able to get Arc and see how everything goes. So this is the gear that I've got left over from the other mules. So I'm just going to equip everything here. Did manage to find a sapphire ring as well. I can't wear it yet. I need level 8, but that'll help when it comes to fighting Merveil. Well, in this case, I will use the cold resistance from Merveil. I don't necessarily need it right now, but this will give me some extra life right now. I just have to remember to switch it out. Oh, and I did find some good wands. Here we go, plus 2 to 4 fire. That's definitely a keeper. And 1 to 4 fire, that'll be the other one I'll use. Found those yesterday on the Shadow. We go Rolling Magma. I use the Energy Shield belt. What have I got in there? Oh, these are level 8. I can't equip those yet. Okay, that's fine. I did find another life ring. A little bit of fire resist, that'll be okay. Vitality I will put in when I get to level 10. So I think this is good. I just want to highlight the difference in damage here. So I'm going to talk to Nessa, fill up my flask. So if we take a look here, and we look at Rolling Magma, for example, right? Currently it's doing 64.49 DPS, right? And that's with these Goat's Horn wands, which add 2 to 4 fire damage and 1 to 4 fire damage respectively here. But if we switch out to the wands that I was using beforehand, right, which just has the increased spell damage, Rolling Magma is doing 38. So it's almost doubling the damage by having these Goat's Horn wands. So they're always a valuable find early when you're starting a caster character that can take advantage of these. So I'm going to go ahead and sell these wands. I don't need them anymore.
Take care.
And if I wanted to even use an essence on one of these wands, I could potentially, roll them and see if I could get something. I did find a number of essences so far. I've got 8. I'm going to go ahead and do it. These ones will add increased spell damage, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get a good addition. We got some cast speed, some extra mana. Getting mana when you kill an enemy, that's nice too. Alright, so I'll do the other one too. That gave me 60% more increased damage, some crit chance. Accuracy doesn't help, some extra mana, so whatever. What was I doing? 64 damage before, now I'm doing 81. So that increased spell damage certainly helped. Well, I got as far as the Submerged Passage last time, and then I got Flame Wall and kind of parked the character at that point, so now I can continue. Another Goat's Horn. Funny, I hadn't found a single Goat's Horn when I was playing the Witch previously, or the Templar. It wasn't until I played the Shadow that I actually dropped 3 of them. So we get a body armor Portal Scrolls and Wisdom Scrolls drop as other currencies. That can be nice because it's not uncommon to have potentially a scroll drop, but you never know. It could be a good piece of currency that it'll translate into, so I'll give this a shot. He's fire and ignite resistant. This is why he's taken so long to kill here. Well, other than the fact he's also rare. I do find it hard when there's a chest or something near the portal. A lot of times There we go. He's able to open it. Oh good, there's an essence down here too, so I will also go ahead and do those. 2 chances for essences because I can do it outside of the Mirage mechanic as well. So doing physical resistant, I'm not doing physical other than the Holy Flame Totem, so. Oh, he dropped double essence. Excellent. So I haven't seen any currency drop yet, but if a Wisdom Scroll or a Portal Scroll does drop, they will drop as other currencies in this particular Mirage mechanic here. I am picking up all of these blue items, because I will kind of mass ID them, and most of them won't be useful for me, but they will be able to be sold for some transmutation shards, so that'll be important, just to get some of those. That might end up being how I get movement speed boots, is that I have to find a pair of white boots and apply a transmutation orb. Well, I'm almost done this zone, and there hasn't been a single, piece of currency that's dropped. So you see those things that say like Wisdom Scrolls and Portal Scrolls will drop as other currency. It doesn't mean they're going to drop, right? It's just there's a chance to have it happen. So the drops are certainly reduced in Ruthless, so you're not going to get as much. Even if something does drop, it'll probably be less. You're not going to get a stack of currency. You might get one orb or something, right? But that's the game mode. I like it because when something does drop, it feels good. So this guy's doing. He's just got extra life. That's not that bad. Go. So I just got 3 extra essences. I'll take it. I think this is going into a dead end here. I didn't do the I didn't do the whatever. This is the submerged passage. Whatever this guy. Where the crab is. Whatever that zone is. So I'm gonna go down there and do that. Frozen here. Just for these things. I can see the doorway. It's just over here now. The flooded depths. See, I mean, I've played this the campaign hundreds of times, and I still can't remember the names of zones. That's. I think this is a dead end. Maybe not. Alright, this is a dead end here. I can see the essence, so that's where I need to go for the zone, so this is good. So I'm gonna take that out. Again, fire and ignite resistant. Enemies that usually go down pretty quickly, if you find that they're taking a while, oftentimes you take a look at that and you find out that they're resistant to the type of damage that you're doing. Oh, we got a couple of essences here. This is nice. Again, and Ruthless essences are spectacular. The fact that you can make anything... maybe I'll roll some essences on some boots. That might be able to get some movement speed. I think 11 essences now. I just used 2 of them. Well, I had... Okay, so I think I've got 9 now. I had 8, used 2. Got 3 more, but I'm about to get 2 more as well. For life crush on hit. Hit it twice. Oh, I guess I already hit it once by mistake. I guess I will go in here and do... Let's get a helmet, because that essence will pop up again. I'm not going to do the crab essence inside of the Mirage. I learned my lesson for that. So it won't spawn the boat, so you're going to have to do it again outside anyway. That will only ever drop 1 essence, so not worth it. As a amulet with mana regen. I don't know what I'd rather have, mana regen or life. I don't find I'm using the flask very often now, so I think I'll stick with the life regen right now. But it's good to have that option. Oh, nice, a rare. Set these up. So he's fire and ignite resistant, although I'm still doing decent damage to him. This isn't too bad. There we go. So I'll take these guys out. I'm not going to do less essence here. Alright, a helmet cache. 2 white helmets.
A legendary battle.
Yes, legendary. So this is part of why I wanted to do, in particular, the Templar Mule, is because having Holy Flame Totem, another goat's horn, having Holy Flame Totem just it really does help to do that damage initially, and I may even keep using it all the way through the campaign just because it's, you know, it's an extra source of damage that can keep doing damage even if you have to kind of kite around or whatever. It keeps applying its damage as long as it's up.
Much clatter.
Yeah. Alright, so the boat spawned, so I can leave here. I should be able to get out to go to the ledge. So once I get to the waypoint for Merveil, that's when I can get Arc, and I will switch over to it immediately when I get it. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be using Arc. It's a fun skill. I was doing a little bit of reading about it, and I don't think I've ever really understood its mechanics, but if I'm understanding correctly, it chains 4 times, right? And so if you shoot it out, it's going to hit up to 5 enemies, the initial one, and then maybe 4 chains. But it does 15% increased damage or more damage. I think it's more damage for each remaining chain. I think what that means is if you're only fighting a single target and it can't chain, then as long as it's not chaining, it's actually going to be doing more damage to that single target, which is actually welcome, because that's one of the things that I found. I think I had tested out and I'd gotten as far as Merveil just to see if it was something that I wanted to play again, and I found that it was a little weak against Merveil, but it must be because she spawns continuous adds, so it's always chaining, so you're not really getting as much of that extra damage with her. If I understand the way that the skill works correctly. But that means that if you are fighting something that doesn't have a ton of adds, and there's only the one monster on the screen, then I think Arc should be doing some extra damage, which in Ruthless is, always a good thing. I'm gonna go back. My inventory is full. I'm gonna put all my blue items in here. Got that rare chest piece too. I might ID that and wear it. We'll equip these boots because I found these rare boots. Now they don't have movement speed, but they have cold resist and they have increased rarity, which that's always nice too. That's like some magic find. I don't need these wands now, but I'm going to keep them just in case. I don't know. Reroll a couple. I'm not going to even ID that, but I'll put it in there. So what do we got here? Got some lightning resistance, some extra life. Sounds good to me. Put this back. And I'm going to sell these boots.
Hello. Be well.
Alright, if I talk to Tarkley, I should get a skill point.
Managed to kill it. I've traveled. Stay sharp out there.
Alright, now level up a few times, so let's go ahead and apply some of these points here. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take some life. And you know what I'm also even going to do? So I'm going to take these. This will give me access to 13% all resist, which is going to give me a little bit extra cold resist when I do get to Merveil, so I'll take that now too. Now I've got a little bit of power now, so I'm going to try and go through a little bit quicker. I'm not going to stop and kill every enemy. In the very beginning, I do that quite a bit, just so that I can get potential drops and maybe some currencies and things. But now that I've actually got a couple Goat's Horn wands, the only thing that I'm really missing right now is movement speed boots. So hopefully they will drop. I mean, that's not bad. I just killed that entire pack by turning around and like throwing a couple fireballs at them. So definitely doing some decent damage now. Which isn't a guarantee in Ruthless, so it's always nice when you can feel that way. You got body armor. I'm not going to do any of these. So now that Path of Exile has implemented the mechanic where they can, automatically ID all the items when you get back to town, at least once you get to that certain point, in each act after that, there's always someone you can talk to. Usually the person that would sell skill gems, in the regular campaign. But it makes it so that wisdom scrolls aren't as important. I still pick them up. Most things, like even if you go to vendors in Ruthless, you're not using wisdom scrolls to buy stuff. It's usually alteration orbs or transmutation orbs or even alchemy orbs to buy things, which I wouldn't spend that on an item. You know, maybe I would spend two alts on a +1 lightning skills wand or something like that, or a shield. It's a possibility, but for the most part, I don't even try and shop at the vendors. I will look. I also will look for 5 links, because you never know. Once you get to, I think, Act 4, they can start dropping 5 links. And especially for a lot of builds, and I don't know if this will be the case for Arc, probably, because I'm going to be doing 3 different lightning skills. So, because your support gems, if you find one that's helpful, if you've got, 2 or 3 skills that can actually benefit from it. So, for example, if I was doing Orb of Storms, Arc, and Lightning Trap, and I find an added lightning damage gem or something, right? If I had a 4 link, I could just put all of those in the same item with that one support gem supporting all 3 of those skills, so it would be helpful. And so that's what I find that I do often in Ruthless, is if I can leverage one support gem, if multiple skills can take advantage of it, so then something like a 5 link becomes very important, because maybe you could have 3 skills. Or if I was doing like a minion build, right, you find like, whatever increased minion damage, and you've got, summon raging spirits, you've got zombies, and you've got absolution or something. I might try and put those all in the same item, so that they can all take advantage of the gem. Whereas in regular mode, like, you would just buy the individual support gems and try and get the appropriate links for each one of those. But I've been playing now for some hours. I haven't had a single support gem drop, so you can't rely on them. You don't know when they're going to drop. They do drop eventually. Not necessarily the one that you want or need, but they will drop in time. I'm not going to do any of these. But when they do, it's kind of a big deal, so it is nice if you can actually have more than one skill benefit. That's the point there. Kill some of these things nipping at my heels as I'm trying to keep walking up here. So what am I? I'm level 10, so I'm gonna get to the president at level 10. That's not bad. It's a level 8 zone. Don't mind being over leveled. I don't mind being, five levels over leveled, but I don't need to be that way, especially when I feel like I'm doing all right damage.
I'd rather burn than call such a place home.
I remarked before, but ever since I've been watching the second season of Wednesday on Netflix again, The Witch reminds me of Wednesday. Her attitude seems to be pretty similar, so whenever The Witch makes a remark, it feels like it's Wednesday saying it to me. Once again, I've gone the wrong way. Chatters. He hits fairly hard, so I try to not let him hit me. I never know how to read these zones. I don't know where the door is going to be. I don't know if there is a tell. But generally, it's not uncommon that if you do see like the Mirage mechanic, if you see the diamond now appear on that on the mini map for the portal, oftentimes the door will be in that direction, because they don't often place those Mirages like just off to the side. In a place where you wouldn't naturally go if you're going through the zone. Like sometimes they do. I have found a couple times where it's kind of out of the way, where you'd miss it if you just naturally headed right to the door for a zone, but I think there's a Rogue Exile here. I can't see who it is. getting hammered with some type of barrage of arrows. What's this guy? Oiraona? Didn't drop anything. Oh no, he just moved. He teleported, I guess. Alright, well he dropped the wizard scroll. Thank you. We'll take a large life flask. Well, that's nice. And I will go into the Ruthless the Mirage mechanic, because that Rogue Exile will spawn again in there, and maybe he'll drop a ring or something.
Make your wish.
I'll go with the helmets again.
Your wish has been granted.
Hey, he's here again. Oh, an Aura Chance, awesome. Those come in handy when you get to maps. So you can, Kirak or whatever, you can buy certain maps off of him. He does sell some for gold, so this is good. He dropped a Sapphire Ring, which will help with Merveil, and then a rare helmet. It's awesome. So Rogue Exiles I always look forward to. Essences and Rogue Exiles are always welcome. And if they happen to be near the Mirage mechanic, that's even better, because then you get double the chances. Because I find that jewelry is often the kind of necessary to, you know, to kind of get your build at a point where it feels good, right? So if you need those resists or something, and you find some rings that have like dual resists, and then you throw an essence on it, maybe you get another resist. I find it to be so important, and so you know, it's only after quite some time that I ever feel like I have enough jewelry. I'm always eager to get more at the beginning. So the door should be somewhere around. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so I just want to take a second and take a look at what dropped there. So there was a 26% cold resist ring. That's going to be nice. I am going to equip this large light flask. It's going to be empty right now until I kill a few mobs, but that's fine. And then a rare helmet. I'm going to equip that too. Accuracy doesn't help me. Then another accuracy stat. Armor. A little bit of regen. I don't have the strength to wear this yet. That's fine. That's actually not that great of a hat. Am I going towards a dead end? Yep. This is what I'm saying. Every time when I walk into a zone where one direction leads to a dead end, whatever direction I decide to go, that will be the dead end. I don't know what if I'm being chilled or hindered. I didn't look up to see. Or if it's like temporal chains or something, if it's a curse. Something was slowing me down. Oh, that's the room that would have flasks in it, but I have no flasks in Ruthless. I know these guys are chilling me because they throw little ice balls. Oh good, there's the door. So I'm level 11. And I think it's level 9 zone where Brutus is, so I should be okay. What the heck? I wasn't expecting this guy to be here. Just a rogue exile. Usually it's just there's no one here. Oh, leather belt. That's got some life on it. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, there must be the Mirage. That's why there's actually enemies spawning here, because usually there's nothing spawning yet. Here's the Mirage. All right, well, I'll do the Mirage, because if it stretches far enough, then that rogue exile will spawn again, and maybe he'll drop something good. He already dropped a leather belt. That's not bad. He's always like approach while you're like fighting off a bunch of enemies. Like, I'm just gonna stop what I'm doing and come talk to you. Ooh, Mirage Archer support. That's not gonna help this build obviously, but that's my first support gem that's dropped, which is nice. It's always exciting whenever anything drops like that. It feels good. I'm gonna pick this up. Well, that's only got 5% spell damage. Got some quality though. I will pick it up.
Choose what
Got your shields. Increased rarity. That's what I'm gonna go for here.
So be it.
I'm eager to see if the rogue exiles over here. It looks like it's, you know, this whole part of the zone is fun. He surprised me though. Like, usually you walk in here and there's nothing going on. And you go and talk, or you listen to Piety kind of talk at you. So when someone charged me, it caught me off guard. That was funny. Here he is, Jonah Unchained. Another sapphire ring and a heavy belt. Gotta love the rogue exiles. So when I was doing my my test run, I had played the Arc Witch just to, you know, I got Arc and then fought Merveil just to see if I'd like it, and I think that by the time I got to Merveil, I had no cold resist whatsoever. I think I did take those 2 nodes on the tree, so I had 13% from the nodes on the tree, but I hadn't found a single sapphire ring yet. And that's always a possibility, right? You might get there and just not have it, so you just gotta be more cautious when you're fighting her. Because she's still certainly able to be killed even without a ring. But in this playthrough, I've actually found 3, which is nice. This won't extend as far as Brutus. In the Mirage portal here. Ooh, a rare leather belt. That's very nice. Could have some resists on it. I'm gonna ID that right now. Nope, no resists. It's got 34 life though, some regen. Reduced fast charges used. Increase mana recovery rate for fast charge. Some reflect. I'll put that on instead of the energy shield here. Alright, and I can leave the Mirage at this point. Let's go kill Brutus.
The astral chain is broken.
Yes, yes it is. It's funny, I find a lot of zones, like it's like a guarantee that you're going to get a Mirage mechanic spawning, but in this particular zone, a lot of times it doesn't spawn. I have seen it before, but it's not consistent, it seems. Yeah, this guy's fire and ignite resistant. I feel that as I'm doing no damage to him. level 12 now? No, level 13, wow. Oh, because I went into the Mirage. I find that when you go into the Mirages, you can level up and not even be aware of it. You're just killing a few things, and before you know it, you're higher than you were. Before I get to Brutus, I'm just going to apply my points here. Alright, so I'm going to take this for the extra resist, although I don't need it for Brutus, but I'll take one more life over here, and then I'm just going to go up into the lightning. Oh, well, I'm doing fire damage right now, but I don't want to respec, so I'm just going to go up through here. I know it's not going to help me right now, but in a few minutes when I have arc, it will. I do like ignite. It's always nice when damage is happening and you don't have to be there doing it. See, he hits hard, but it's not like a one-shot when if you happen to be in there when he does the giant slam there.
Had you been my creation, Brute, you'd not have fallen so easily.
So I'm going to go back to town and get Clarity. And I'll also equip Vitality and Clarity.
For some, death as well.
Oh, I guess I gotta get rid of some of the stuff first. I can't quite do that yet. So I don't need the cold resists yet. Once I get to Mervale, I'll grab them at that point. I'm gonna put this in my quality. I'm just gonna put the blues away. I mean, this might be a bit tedious. That was the. I have the strength for it now, but it's I guess it is giving me a little bit more than. Equip it then. I'll keep this helmet just in case. Now I can wear this now, which is Vitality, and then if I go talk to Tarkly, I should be able to get Clarity here.
Warden's free of his own.
I could also get Summon Skeletons or Wither, but I'm not gonna use those. So this is good for some mana regen. And then I like to put them here so that I don't accidentally. I guess because you don't need to hit control. You control to see them, but you can just hit S or D to trigger the skills. Yes, I have a particular way of how I like to align my skills. And usually my auras or whatnot I have on the kind of the second screen where you have to hit tab. So if I just hit SD, it's going to activate both of those. So now I've got a Vitality and Clarity running for some extra life and mana regen. Which are, you know, those and Precision are really the only auras that you can get because they're not, you know, they reserve a little bit more each time you level them. But any of the ones that reserve like a fixed percentage, you know, 50% or 25%, you don't really get those. If you play Duelist, you do get, I forget what it is, Blood and Sand or whatever. That's one of the ones that it does have a fixed amount. I think it's only 10% or something. And I think there's the banners too. But they're few and far between the ones that you can get. in Ruthless as kind of quest rewards, right? Obviously, any of the ones can drop.
Make your wish.
Helmets. I don't care about that stuff. Alright, so let's... I don't care about Piety. I don't want to go where she's going to close the road on us. I just want to go where I can get to... Oh, there's Piety. She is up there. So I guess this is the direction this time. Yeah, she appears as an X on the minimap, and that's how you kind of know that you're going in the wrong direction, because she's going to block your way. So if you see that X, just kind of pivot and go in a different direction. I don't know if I go here. Let's see which way it goes. Yeah, this seems to be the way. These guys are annoying me. Nope, it's actually blocking me, taking me right back to Piety. So I did see on the map over here that there was the potential to go this way. But again, I don't know if there is a way to read these or if it really is just kind of trial and error. You go in a direction, if it opens up, you can keep going, great. If not, then turn around. You know, I know that in Diablo 2, like, you know, there's things you always go left or something, and generally that's how you get through a zone. But for these, I find it's sometimes Piety's to the left, sometimes she's to the right. Sometimes they make the zone go in directions I'm not expecting. But none of them are too big. I do find in Path of Exile 2, I find some of those maps can be quite big, and because they put things in the maps that you want to get, like, you know, there'll be little mini bosses where you might get whatever, cold resist or something that'll drop that's actually useful for you. So you want to explore the zone, and I find some of the zones are a bit big, and I find that can be a little bit cumbersome. But it's not a huge deal. Alright, the ship graveyard. So we don't need to go talk to Fairgraves, because if you just go get him as all flame, then that'll be what he needs. He'll still try to kill you at that point anyway, so... like after, when you talk to Vestal, after you kill Fairgraves, and I guess he looked up to Fairgraves or something, so Vestal, you know, kind of bemoans the fact that he's dead, and he remarks that, you know, Fairgraves was like a, you know, a pioneer or whatever, and, you know, for better or for worse. And then he said, usually for worst when it comes to the natives, because he would colonize. And I find that's a cheeky little remark that makes me laugh every time I hear it. I will often stop and listen to that audio, and I will listen to the Kitava lore when you're in the reliquary or whatever. I enjoy listening to the kind of the myth of Kitava. I like the audio for it. Once again, this guy was not taking much damage, and you can look up and see that he's fire and ignite resistant. So I will take resistant over immune any day. In Diablo 2, you know, you get to hell and suddenly you're encountering half the monsters you can't do any damage to because they're resistant, and, you know, it does make you have to figure it out and, you know, make it work, so I can appreciate that, but it's also, it makes for a painful leveling process at times. That's like Diablo 2's Ruthless. Play a single element, you know, sorceress or whatever in hell. See how that goes. I mean, once you beat the campaign, right, obviously if you spec into Blizzard Source or whatever, and everything's fine, because you just go to zones where it's appropriate. But when you having to go through the different things,
Choose what you wish.
nothing good there. So this is actually interesting. This is my third character. I did 2 mules, and I haven't had a single one of those give me uniques, give me, you know, a cache of support gems, anything like that. Which, you know, I understand that those are rare, but they do happen, and they just haven't happened in this playthrough. You just gotta, you know, roll the dice, see how it goes. Rest assured, if there is a dead end, I will find it. With Triangle Charm, I don't know if maybe if the fight goes on long enough, or if you keep your distance, she'll like spawn a bunch of waves that try to take you out too. But I don't see those as often. Maybe it's just because if you're in close range to her, she doesn't do that. Alright, so this is nice now. It takes you right to Fairgraves. It used to be that you'd have to go out and
Frankly, I would have been surprised
I think
if you
walk back.
hadn't recognized stuck my old
I think. I might be misremembering that, but I think that's the case. I did this a bit early.
pains me greatly to do this. Hard times call for hard times. Sure, were the circumstances reversed, no risk, I
Fairgraves, I wouldn't do the same. I'm not trying to kill people that helped me out.
And that's how you die properly, sailor boy. No half measures, thank you.
Right. So, if I was paying attention, I would have kind of walked past the entrance to the All Flame there, and I would have gone ahead and kept going all the way to Merveil's waypoint, because then I wouldn't have to rewalk that. But I didn't notice. So we'll have to do
Merveil
that.
dwells in the cave.
That trick. Oh yeah, I've still got the prison reward to get from her. Fire resist. I'll take the fire resist just to have an option.
Goodbye.
Let's listen to Bestel here.
Fairgraves was a good man, a fine explorer. He opened the door to many a new world, for better or for worse, usually for worse when it came to the natives. There's some peace in the knowledge that he now rests where he should. Let's not speak of Fairgraves again, shall we? He was an inspiration to many. 'Twould be a shame to spoil a good hero.
So I've got a couple of blue items here. And then this one's already ID'd. I'll just put it here. Another Chromatocorp. So I've got 9 Chromatocorps now. That's quite nice. I don't need any of them right now, obviously, but when the time comes when you do need them, it's good to have. So I would like to see the treasure chest. It does spawn in this zone. I don't know where. These guys are like hyper aggressive, man. Oh, they're hasted. That's what it is. Wow.
I barely recognize myself.
I was stuck in the that crappy ground where you can't move.
Life is too quick.
Rare boots. Could be the ones with movement speed. So you can see here that the Ruthless item filter never actually makes items disappear. So the most it'll do is reduce the font size to a very small font size. So here you can see a small life flask, which at this level it just figures like you don't need to be picking that up. So it shrinks it down to like barely noticeable, but it doesn't. They don't remove anything, you know, by design or whatever. But that's just how it is.
Approach.
Kill these guys. I hate the Conjurers of Rot. What do you got?
What is your desire?
Fields. Currency. I am going to do one because I do want to, I do want to do the essence here. I'll do it first before going into the portal, then I'll do it again. So this is going to hinder aura. As long as I'm not trying to move, that should be fine. Some more boots. Now I'll go in here and do that again. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, I just wanted to do that, and then I'll do the essence here. And I am very close to being able to get arc. Haste aura as well. Started doing more damage than the other one, but it's manageable. So what if I think both my auras have leveled up here. I will go ahead and level them both up.
Fight another day.
Alright, now I'm able to both ID stuff and get arc. Let's go back to town. Nessa will give me arc.
If you must take your chances with the siren, then have this. It may be of some help.
Thank you, Nessa. Salvo, Blazing Salvo, arc.
God hasn't abandoned us.
Alright, so I don't have a lot of blue. Okay, so first of all, now talking to Nessa 2, you have the option to identify items. So I'll just do that. No movement speed. And no movement speed. It's brutal. I mean, that lightning resistance could come in handy if we need it. So I'm going to keep those boots. I'll sell these.
Hello. Be well.
I'll put that on in a second. I'm going to go ahead and ID a bunch of these items now.
Hello.
And I'll sell what I don't need. And the elemental damage isn't bad, but you can't use wands and scepters together, and I'm using wands, so I'm just going to keep those.
Be well. Yes?
That actually gave me an alchemy shard. So, I don't know what particular affix it was, but some of them will give you the alch shards. So, that's always nice too, because 20 of those will give you another orb of alchemy. Which, when you need to upgrade your maps to rare maps for tier 6 through 10, you don't have access to a lot of alchemy orbs, and that's where it also helps to have the chance orbs, because then you can get them from Kirak. There is a whole trading mechanism here, so we can take a look at her kind of currencies. So for 15 portal scrolls, you can get a transmute. For 3 wisdom scrolls, you can get a portal scroll. For 4 transmutes, you can get an augment. And for 4 augments, you can get an alt. And then, I don't know if it's just in the later zones or whatever, but you can get, you know, up to, you know, scouring orbs or whatever, and these different things, alchemy orbs. But it just requires a lot of currency to get, so I don't usually buy any of that stuff. I'm looking to get some more blue sockets, I guess. You know what? Really all this is giving me is a little bit of regen. I'm just going to put this helm on, because then I get access to the sockets. I can put arc in there. And primarily it's so that I'm not actually getting rid of rolling magma at this point. So arc will be my primary skill, but I'm going to keep rolling magma as an option in case I run into like a, you know, like a lightning resistant person or something. That's an option as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take my cold resist. I'm going to ID that one. I had a third ring. Am I wearing it? No. Where's my third cold resist ring? Oh, I put it up here. Right, let's see what are the best ones.
Hello. Goodbye.
This one's 22. So these 2 are the best. So actually the magic one's the worst one. So I'm going to put it away. I'm going to put it in my jewelry tab here. And I'll bring these to equip when I get to Merveil. I also had armor, but I think it was only giving like 6 or 7% cold resist, so 7%. I mean, really, for... I don't think I need that. I already do have 13% cold resist too, just from the tree. I got 23, so I don't know, something else will give me 10 cold resist. Oh, here we go, it's my boots. So yeah, when I put the 2 rings on, that should bring me up almost to 75 anyway, so I'm good. Oh, I got some points here. I am going to just go right up through here. And then I can take these life nodes to go in here and get this lightning, but before I do that, I'm going to divert over and get elemental overload. That's my objective. I wasn't expecting to use arc there, even though I know I just equipped it. I wasn't thinking about that. So this one's lightning and shock resistant, so I'm going to go ahead and hammer him down with rolling magma. Yeah, I mean arc, I just equipped it, and it does a great job at taking out lots of enemies. The chains help. And it's satisfying. I like lightning skills. I think they're fun. Crackling and whatnot. Once you can get access to consistent shock as well, then that also does extra damage, which is nice. And in Ruthless, like just any extra source of damage is great. So for example, you know, if you can, you know, do physical damage that also causes bleeds, you know, or do, you know, chaos damage that also causes poisons or whatever, just whatever you can have that's going to give you a little bit of extra damage. So somehow, I must have hit S and Vitality, or maybe I took the gem out in town and it deactivated, but Vitality wasn't up and running there. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn these. Open this. We'll take a chromatic orb. I was reading about a skill, and I don't remember what it is, but it essentially like spawns an orb of water that makes things wet, and it hinders them, I think, because they get kind of drenched, and then also it interacts with either cold or lightning skills, and I thought that was kind of neat. I don't remember what it was called, but something that I wasn't even aware that it existed. I think that so often you know, especially if I'm following a build guide or something, I'm just going to grab whatever the build guide says to grab, and then I don't necessarily look at what the other possibilities are. I'll go at least see what the is here. I didn't happen to notice the. Oh, no, maybe in the last one I did, and I opted not to go into it. Wow, there's a lot of enemies here. And this guy is not going down at all. What is happening? So it's that if I can kill these. We're rolling magmas and arc at him. I'm getting chilled, and that's what it just makes it so. I'm getting frozen, actually. Come on. There we go. There's his shields. No, I don't care about any of those. So I want to take a moment and look at the actual arc skill, the description. So it says here, an arc of lightning reaches from the caster to a targeted enemy and chains to other enemies, but not immediately back. Each time the arc chains, it will also chain a secondary arc to another enemy that the main arc has not already hit, which cannot chain farther. Deals 6 to 32 lightning damage, chains plus 4 times, and it does 15% more damage. Guys, like, I'm kind of trying to do something here. Come on. Does 15% more damage with hits and ailments for each remaining chain. And so that's the thing that I didn't understand what that meant. But I think for each remaining chain means that if it doesn't exhaust the chain, if it doesn't use it, so if it doesn't have an enemy to chain to, then the target that it is hitting, it actually does more damage to. And if that is the case, and I don't know if that is, that's how I'm interpreting it. But that means that it actually, when you're facing a sole target, it can actually do some pretty decent single target damage. But it doesn't do as well when you've got a bunch of adds, as well as a powerful single target. Because then it's going to keep chaining to the adds and not do the extra damage. So that's what I think goes on. We'll have to see. And so it shouldn't feel too strong against Merveil, because Merveil constantly is spawning adds. I still have rolling magma too, so we can try and hit her with both of them. Right, I'm gonna put my rings on. So I should be pretty close to 75% cold resist now. 73%. That's perfect. Go and take a little bit of life right now, I suppose. Alright, let's go fight Mervale. So it's not doing great damage to her, and there's not even an add up right now. It's not hurting her that much. Let's try the rolling magma as well. It certainly makes it a lot easier with this cold resistance. Like I'm tanking her like beams and stuff, and it's not doing that much damage, which is nice. Even these storms, it is not doing that much. She like rains down ice on me. Now the second form, she like throws an ice ball at you. Can feel kind of bad. Like I think I'm standing in the pillars right now, and they're not even doing that much damage too. So cold resist really does help with this fight. I am trying to spawn. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but so often when I try to spawn a totem, it just doesn't come out. There we go.
Poor fishwife. 'Twas love that did this to you.
Alright, so this will bring us to the end of Act 1. And I think that's where I will that's where I'll end this video. And then we can begin Act 2 in the next one. At least now I've actually I realized the first two videos you didn't get to see much of a Arc Elementalist. Just because I was doing the mules. You know, obviously I'm not an Elementalist yet, I'm too early for that, but at least now we are playing the Witch, and we do have Arc online, so this is good. I do like the skill though, I love the chaining. You know, it does feel fun to use. It can be a bit stronger as far as the damage is concerned, but we'll see if we can, you know, especially once we get elemental overload and some things, we'll see if we can get that to be increased a bit. Its clear damage feels great, like it wipes out trash mobs without a problem. But I do find it's a little bit weak on single target so far, even with the mechanic that talks about the more damage if it can't chain.
I have seen. Fare you well. I am. Return if you must.
I am Yena.
So now Yena, you'll see that she'll also identify items for us, right? So there's always someone in each town now that'll do it once you get to that waypoint for Mervale. Right, 2 chromatic orbs.
Go with the spirit.
And then I think I'm going to put these rings back on. I don't need the cold resist now. It's mainly just for Mervale. So I'll stick these in my jewelry tab. This helmet has a little bit of fire resist, but I need the blue socket right now, so I'm just going to stick it away. I'll put a point in. So I'm going to start making way towards elemental overload here. That's my next goal. So I guess here we are. We're now in Act 2. On my next video, I will begin the playthrough of Act 2 and you know, see if we can, you know, get up into Act 3 and then eventually run the lab. I probably won't run the lab until the beginning of Act 4. That's usually around the time that I do it, when I feel a little bit overpowered. So I think you can do it at level 33, and I usually wait till I'm about 40, but we'll see. But yeah, the lab in Ruthless is actually quite a cool thing, because you can get those chests that drop both in like the gauntlets and things, and in the kind of the end room, where they can actually drop support gems. Sometimes like a collection of them, so you can get 3 or 4 support gems, which is awesome. And the divine font is good too. Sometimes you can convert an existing support gem into another one, or you can transfigure an existing gem or whatever, and maybe get one of the interesting ones as a variation of the things. I haven't looked at what Arc has for that. Maybe I'll take a look at that too. But at any rate, thanks for joining me again, and I'll be back with the next video where we start to go into Act 2 with the Arc Elementalist. Thank you very much, and please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.